It's a big problem when the trailers for this movie only serve to remind you of other better films from the studio, rather than showing you much footage from the film it's advertising. And in this case, that's because Illumination's latest animated film, Migration, doesn't really have much to offer in terms of story or characters. As far as kids' films go, it's certainly passable, and at times there can be a bit of charm to it, but kids are really the only ones who are going to get anything out of this. It's yet another animated road trip movie, and as such, it has the same formula as other family road trip movies, this time being a bit more reminiscent of DreamWorks' The Croods. It also has a very similar villain to 1978's The Muppet Movie. The first half doesn't really have much going on, and the main conflict, as thin as it is, doesn't really show up until the second half. There's also a certain subplot that's introduced in the first 10 minutes about one of the ducklings having a crush on another duckling, and it doesn't really affect the plot at all. That other duckling shows up again near the end, and by that point I had forgotten about it. The jokes are also aimed more for little kids. Now, it's not lowbrow humor necessarily, but it's not really humor the adults will gravitate towards. It's more slapstick humor. And when it lacks a plot and humor, it makes up for it in animation. It still has the distinct Illumination style and design, and yet is still very expressive and energetic. And it's also a very clean kids movie. I have no idea why it's rated PG. It is a G-rated movie in my opinion. It's for very little kids, though. I'd say rent this film for your kids. It'll entertain them for 90 minutes. Don't go rushing out to see it. Just wait for streaming. Put it on for them while you get work done. This is a fun, clean kids movie that I'd feel fine with my kids watching. But for the adults, it doesn't really have much to offer. So I'd say rent it. For me, it gets a C, 7 out of 10, and 3 out of 5 stars.